What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Goods XY. Big Z, we back in the building, man. Listen, SZA and TDE Punch, they're done. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
It's being reported that SZA and TDE's Punch have parted ways. Now let's get to that, man. Listen. Now in this story, it's basically giving the indication that SZA and TDE's Punch are no longer working together. So this is in response to a post where SZA says, "Nothing to celebrate, the end of an era. I wish him the best, whatever his choices may be."
What do you mean by that?
Now, some people might look at that and be like, yo, that's hella passive aggressive, man. Whatever his choices may be is kind of crazy. But I don't see anything wrong with this. I feel like at the end of the day, we know that artists have to grow. And sometimes you got to make these tough decisions to go on and do what you need to do. Obviously, we've seen it with Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar went off to do his own thing. And Kendrick Lamar is a huge artist. And SZA is a huge artist. SZA is an artist that commands streams, plays, attention whenever she drops. Now, there has been issues in the past where SZA has wanted to put out her music and she's been kind of hindered to do so.
Okay, yeah, it's my mind, and it's like,
Why? What happened?
let's just call me and it's like, oh, I think we need to move the album back to the top of the year. After I
Wait,
so much time and energy into all this shit, I don't have any
but wait, why? What was his reasoning? He feels like the order.
information that he already had prior.
Me and was like, oh, he's like, I just want to give everything the most time, like, to do well, and I'm thinking, he's like, because everything shuts down on holiday. We already talked about that. Mm-hmm. We talked about that. Everything shuts down on holiday. So we would be raw dogging it, but we dropped Good Days on Christmas. It was #1 globally on all streaming. Mm-hmm. That's Spotify, Apple, everything for like more than a week. So it's like, and nothing had ever done that before. Everything's done. The album art is done. The cover art is done. The vinyl pack is done. The merch is done. Everything, the music is done. The track list is done. The mixing was happening while we were doing it. The mixing is done. It's mastered. Everything is done.
Now, if you don't know, SZA recently put out the deluxe album for SOS, nicknamed Lana. Now, with this album drop, several things happened. We know that it was late. It was supposed to drop the morning of, and it ended up dropping later in the afternoon. And people might look at it and say, okay, what's the big deal? It dropped a little bit later. Listen, when you're a professional out here and you're running a label and you have a date set for someone to drop their record, you have to drop it on that date and at that time. It's just part of professionalism, for one. And then two, these are fans. These are people that are looking to your artist saying, like, I can't wait for this artist to drop. And if they've been waiting for a long time for these records, you can't come back and drop it late. Listen, you got to understand this. When these labels plan these things, they plan rollouts. So the rollout has to work exactly how it was envisioned to work. You can't have no hiccups in there. You can't say you're dropping at this time and then drop at a later time. Obviously, if you're a great artist like SZA is, it won't really matter. But at the end of the day, it has to be on point, especially when you're as big of an artist as SZA is. Now, TDE is a great label with a great roster of artists. They are not a bad label. Not at all, in my eyes. At all. Now, do labels make mistakes sometimes? Yeah. But they have a great roster, man, with names like Isaiah Rashad, Doechii, Ray Devon, Schoolboy Q, Absol. This roster is full of talent. And I get it. SZA is an artist who is like, she's basically the biggest artist on that label. Let's keep it real right now. She's the biggest artist on that label and she commands the most attention. A lot of people were questioning the fact that they felt like this album was downplayed as a deluxe album and not an actual album, because people felt like the cuts on the album can make its own album. And I gotta agree, it's a strong project. And the fact that it was a deluxe is kind of but we already knew that she was planning to drop a deluxe. It's interesting to see that they decided to go that route. Although the album was released late, Punch did take accountability for that, where he tweeted and said, my fault. So it literally was on him for the late release. And then, that's when SZA, later on replied to the post and said, nothing to celebrate, end of an era. I wish him the best, whatever his choices may be. Now, what fueled this a little bit more is that Punch went ahead and changed his bio to say, I manage SZA, I think. Now, the issue with this is that a lot of people gonna look at that and be like, okay, yeah, there's something going on. But it also leaves the room for you to think that maybe SZA is just venting. And, you know, Punch later on changed that to say, I manage SZA. So, you know, it's something that I think is internal right now. And what I get from the gist of it and ending off of it is that we don't know. Like, she could have just been venting, but we don't know. We don't know what the situation is right now. But I do know it seems that she is still on TDE, just not managed by Punch. If that's the case, right? And if that's the case, that's okay. Artists switch managers all the time. And I feel like if you ain't happy with your management, that's one of the things that you can change. And you're not tied by a contract to stay in, you know, unless there's something I don't know. But I think she has every right to change and decide what she wants to do with her management. Obviously, SZA is a passionate artist. As you can see from the video we showed, she has never had anything bad to say about TDE. I think TDE is part of the reason for her success. And a lot of people are debating whether she could be a bigger artist outside of TDE, which I don't disagree with, but I do think that TDE played a big part in her artist development and who she is today. And I don't think she doesn't recognize that. But at the end of the day, artists gotta grow, man. And we gotta allow them space to grow. Like, this doesn't mean anything bad unless there's some bad blood between them on the inside that we don't know about. But to me, it doesn't look like anything bad. And if she wants to change her management, change her management. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't change who you are as an artist. Maybe it changes the way you do some of your business. But the way I look at this is kind of like, I wonder if it's a conflict because of the fact that Punch runs TDE and he's her manager at the same time. So as the manager, you're making these decisions on when albums should come out, when they should drop, at the same time being her manager and managing her career. So, you know, it kind of, there could be some things that we don't know about in there, but him changing it back to I manage SZA could either be him just trying not to deal with the constant rumors, or maybe they talked it out and they figured it out. But yeah, this is the music business, man. In the music business, this is the side that people don't talk about, man. You could be a passionate artist, and sometimes people look at artists and they're like, yo, why you not dropping nothing? Why nothing came out? A lot of the times it's out of the artist's hands. Like, the artists have to follow a rollout schedule. So things have to be done, Mike. You got to get merch done. You got to get promo done. You got to get a lot of things done to ensure that this album actually works. You know, and this is like the drawbacks of being signed versus being independent. If you're independent, obviously you don't get the backing of all the advertising and everything like that. Everything is on your dime. And the plus to that is you get to drop whenever you want to drop. But there really is no like professional rollout that you would get with the label. But then again, that's when the label gets some decision-making powers. But let me know how y'all feel about it. How do y'all feel about SZA parting ways with Punch of TDE? Do y'all think this means that SZA will eventually part ways with the label? I'm not sure how many albums she has left on her contract. If anybody knows, put it in the comment section. But do you think SZA would be bigger on a different label outside of TDE? How would y'all feel with SZA on PG Lang? That would be kind of dope. Let me know in the comment section, man. I think PG Lang is a creative label. I think their creativity is like unmatched. So I think they got a lot of good things going on over there. But let me know in the comment section. And look, also, if you have not checked it out, I got a new YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is called Zoe Talking, and it's literally me just talking about the ins and outs of YouTube creation, the frustrations, the struggles, the benefits, pros, cons, all that kind of stuff, man. It's gonna be basically a channel to talk about real life stuff and vent a little bit, man. So check it out. I have it in the description if you want to subscribe. I'll also put it in the comment section if you want to go there and check it out. But as always, you already know what it is. It's your boy Goods, BigZoeTV. Let's go.
Nigga second bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it.